Alrighty, hey guys, this is Think Outside the Cube, and here in front of me I do have my 2009 Honda Civic EXL, and this is going to be the 70,000 mile update on my car. Now, I have officially surpassed 30,000 miles of driving this car, and so I've done a few things to it. Some are more obvious than others, and I definitely still have some things I would love to do to it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, coming up front, the first thing that you'll notice is my headlights. They're not foggy anymore. As you can see, they're a lot clearer than they used to be. If you remember before, I did have a bunch of oxidation going up at the top right here, and then over on this side was even worse. This whole headlight was pretty oxidized as well. So what I did was I bought the Wipe New Headlight Restore Kit. That was about $10 on Amazon. Of course, Prime shipped that, you know. And I tried that. It's a really simple 3-step process. You can estimate it to last around 8 to 12 months. But of course, at only $10 a kit, it's a whole lot cheaper than buying new headlights, of course. I'll go ahead and insert before and after pictures right here of the whole process and the kit and stuff. But other than that, I was really pleased with the results. It really only took about 30 minutes to do the whole thing. Other than that, coming up front, still no fog lights. That's definitely still on my list of things I'd like to do. Of course, I said I wanted roof racks probably 6 months ago, and that finally happened. So fog lights are definitely on my list. Front license plate, I'm kind of tired of it, to be honest. I'm interested to see how it's mounted up here. If I take it off, if it'll leave holes. I don't know. If it does, it's no big deal, honestly. I might just order a new plate, a more customizable one or something like that. Not monogram, but there's like nautical flag ones that you can order that I think would look pretty cool on this thing. Since I'm going for like the surfer theme with my roof racks now, I've had probably 10 people ask me if I surf now, and that was just because my roof racks, and I thought that was hilarious. But other than that, up front, just the usual rock chips around here, that of course that deep gash from the previous owner. Windshield wipers, these are actually the OEM blades. The previous owner actually just had some like cheap Michelin blades up here that were complete trash. I ordered the whole OEM frame and everything off eBay for 50 bucks, and that was probably 15,000 miles ago, probably about a year ago, and they're still holding up great. Whenever it gets real stormy outside and a bunch of leaves and debris get underneath them, I'll just wipe the blades off with like a wet paper towel, and then I get no streaking. It's really easy, and it's simple. And then with these OEM blades, you can actually pull just the blade out and keep the assembly, which I really like. And plus the assemblies look a lot sleeker than those metal frame ones. Coming to my wheels, of course, as you can see, got a little dirt on the tires. Did some off-roading, I guess you could say, last night. Just my friend lived down a dirt path since they own a farm. My tires, these are the same Michelin Defender tires that I purchased the vehicle with, or that came on the vehicle when I purchased it. These are 205/55 R16s. I've got about 5,000 miles left on these tires. If you notice, if you look past all of the dirt, you can see they're starting to dry rot a little bit. Around the 2012 era, Michelin had a bunch of tires that were dry rotting, and they'll basically give you a brand new set of tires for half off if your serial number on your tire matches the affected tires. So we're going to see about that. If we can get half off tires, then I'm not getting SI wheels. I'll go ahead and say that. But I am trying to track down some SI wheels that I like. I said I would get SI wheels once I wear out these tires. If I can get new tires, new Michelin Defenders for half price, then I'll just keep these alloys. If not, if a nice set of OEM SI wheels falls in my hands, then of course I will go ahead and take those and put new tires on those. I definitely am very pleased with these tires though. I really have nothing to compare them to, but if they've given me zero issues at all, knock on wood, I haven't had a flat, I haven't come out to a low tire pressure or anything like that. So I'm really pleased with these tires. Of course, as you can see, mud flaps are doing their job right over there. I purchased the vehicle with those mud flaps. It had the mud flaps and the pinstripe from the dealer. Those are just dealer installed accessories. Around here, Honda dealers will add anything to the price of the car to basically jack it up, I guess. New brakes, I actually did get new brakes done around 68,000 miles. I really wanted to hold off on brakes until my 70,000 mile service, but I couldn't. Literally, this back one right here was squealing so bad, I could go 80 on the freeway and still hear it inside. It was so bad. It was like the rotor was like stuck against the pad or something like that. Long story short, I had 2 millimeters all the way around, and so I just went ahead and got all my pads replaced, and that was around $400 to get done. Now, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. These are the Rhino Racks 49-inch load bars with a 44-inch Thule fairing. Now, I know what you're saying. They're filthy. I know what you're saying. Why did you mismatch the brands? This saved me over $200 to get Rhino Rack crossbars and a Thule fairing. I know I wanted the Thule fairing just because that's name brand. But the Rhino Racks, the reason I actually went with Rhino Rack is because Thule and Yakima make load bars no smaller than 58 inches. These are 49. Okay, you see these barely extend past the length of the vehicle, as you can see. Basically add about 5 inches to each side of this load bar, and that's how big the Thule ones would be. And I honestly think that looks silly. It would extend almost to the mirror, halfway through the mirror, and people that were getting in and out in the front and the back would hit their heads on them. It just was really tacky. And plus the Rhino Racks, they were significantly cheaper, and I'm not actually carrying anything on them, so I don't have to worry about like load capacity or anything like that. They're just for looks. And so as long as they stay like this, no paint chipping or anything like that, I'm good. As you can see, they're filthy. I did run my car through the laser wash. I'll do that 2 or 3 times a week. Laser wash doesn't touch the paint, so I know what you're saying. You just got it professionally polished. Don't worry about that. I'm done with car washes with brushes, trust me. But the Thule fairing, this is the new, what is it called? I don't know, the 8702, I think is what it is. It's the new style one. It looks less like a snowboard and more like a fairing. And then as you can see, it's got the little rubber feet, and it came with these little protectors on it to protect the paint. Now, where the load bar was, for it to be the correct distance between each of them, the fairing actually sat on top of the sunroof, and I didn't want to basically not be able to use my sunroof just because of the fairing that I'm using for looks. And so what I did was I slid the load bar probably about 2 centimeters forward, and so that allows me to have clearance enough to be able to open my sunroof and have the fairing. The fairing has dropped wind noise significantly. The wind noise was so bad, I considered sending these back just because I'm not going to deal with that. It was howling, it was horrible. Fairing helped significantly, well worth the $100 that I spent on this. The load bars altogether around $300, and then I added this, which was $400, or made the total $400. So all in, if I got Thule everything, it would have been about $600, and so I'm about $200 in the green in terms of the load bars. Now coming around back, as you can see, I still do have my basic Patagonia, Country Club, and Vineyard Vine stickers over there. I'm thinking about just kind of de-stickering the whole thing, and I think it would make it a lot cleaner. Speaking of making it cleaner, I want to debadge the Civic logo. I think it would just make it look a lot better back here. Civic is just kind of like a ricer car around here, and so I just kind of want to get rid of that name on the car. Also, chrome exhaust tip's doing well. No one has ever said anything to me about this thing on my bumper, so I guess no one just really notices it. My eBay rear Decklid spoiler is still doing well. I'm really happy with it, to be honest. It's not leaking into my trunk or anything like that because it is drilled in, but we did do weather stripping and all that kind of stuff to prevent that from happening. I do have a trunk liner since this is an EXL. Plate bulbs are LED. They're still working fine. Metro Honda plate frame, that's where the car originated. I just emailed them and they sent me the front plate and this plate frame because I just told them I was a big fan at the dealership, all that kind of stuff. I told you, thinking about debadging Civic, I'm thinking about tinting the taillights as well, just to kind of get rid of how intense the red is back here, since the red does contrast really really harshly with the black. Just a light tint, maybe just a few coats of Plasti Dip, or I might just get a roll of tint and roll it over. Now coming around this side, everything is just the same as the other side. Fuel economy, seeing my gas cap right there, I really don't get good gas mileage at all. As I said, I'll leave my Fuelie account down in the description below. I think I've tracked about 20,000 miles on that, and I'm really only averaging about 28 mpg altogether. I'm getting 25-ish recently, and I really don't know why. That's really kind of inexcusable for such a small, low horsepower car. Of course, I don't exactly drive like a grandma. You do have to rev this engine out so much because it's so low on torque. But, I mean, at least it's not that much to fill up. I think a fill up is 20 bucks max. As you can see, interior is absolutely filthy. WeatherTech mats are doing their job at keeping the floor mats nice and clean, or the floor underneath them nice and clean. My leather seats are still doing well. I condition them about once a month. I try to. A bunch of people comment on how chalky they are and how like non-shiny they are, and that's my goal. Is I don't really want them to get really shiny. As you can see, this bottom seat right here is nice and shiny. Well, that one over there is not shiny at all. That's just because I sit in this one more and don't get a chance to condition as much as I would like to. Now let's go ahead and stop that chiming. I'm sure you're all really enthused about that. Now my key, this is the same key I've used for all 30,000 miles. And as you can see, it's wearing down a little bit on the back, and this unlock button is getting a little worn. But other than that, it's still a really sturdy key. I don't know if you've ever inserted a Honda key into the key cylinder, but it's so smooth compared to Toyotas and other it's just the little things with Honda. I guarantee it. If you took a 2016 Camry key and stuck it in the ignition, it would not be nearly as smooth as it would be this Civic. And I do that all the time, so I would know. And as you can see, starts right up. 71 to 11 in terms of mileage, and I do have that low tire pressure just because it is a little colder out. I did just fill up, and I've got to insert all the MPG into my Fuelie app right here. But before we go over the interior, let's go ahead and check out underneath the hood. Now coming underneath the hood, we do have the tried and true R18 1.8 liter inline 4, 140 some odd horsepower and 128-ish pound-foot of torque, I think. Of course, I'll put specifics in the annotations if I'm incorrect. Honda is still using this engine today. It is a little over 10 years old since it was produced in the 2006 Civic, and of course they had to make it before that to make it in the 2006 model year. It's still in the HRV, but I'm sure it will be phased out pretty soon for their small displacement turbos. Now, I've had no issues with the car other than I've put 2 batteries in it just because Dad is really cheap and gets Autocraft batteries from AutoZone. But we did put a battery in as soon as we bought the car. And then about the last week in August, I did have the car fail to start on me. And the battery just wasn't holding a charge, so we went ahead and replaced it. Other than that, just air filters and oil. And it's just been a peach. No issues at all. I don't really know of any mileage specifications where you have to do anything. I know around 100,000 miles you do spark plugs, and that's about it. These Honda engines are just about bulletproof. There's someone in one of the car enthusiast Facebook groups that I'm in, and they've got 450,000 miles on their 06 Civic, and that's awesome. I will never keep this car to see that kind of mileage, but I guess it's cool to know that it's there if I wanted to. Of course, this is not the 3 Series that I want so bad, but of course, my parents have to give me something to work towards, or at least that's what they tell me. As I said, went over the leather seats. Still wish I had a power seat. People can make fun of it if they want to, but they're probably just jealous. Jealous. I won't go there. No, we're not being petty today. Padded door panels are still doing really nice. I need to turn my light on. Hold on one second. Okay, and then the padded stitch leather right here in our door panel is still doing really good. Padding still pretty deep on the stitched armrest. Now, as you can see, this little tear right here, that did come up but I don't know, that's probably just for me grabbing on it recklessly. Power windows, auto up and down driver, power locks, power mirrors. As you can see on my napkins, I do have my garage door opener. Speakers could use an upgrade. It depends on how long I keep the car. If I'm getting rid of it when I think I am, I'm not going to bother with that. But it'll be another year or two before I even consider getting rid of this car. Over here on the left, VSA, all that kind of stuff. You might think fog lights go in one of these switches, but they actually don't. They go over here on the headlight stalk as a separate little switch right here, and then you've still got headlights over there. So you just replace that whole assembly. You have to take this whole cover off right here. Now coming to my steering wheel, as you can see, let me turn on these LED lights up here. As you can see, it is perforated. Top is still doing really nice. It's not shiny at all for the mileage, of course. My mom's car is absolutely shiny. I finally caught up to mileage with her. She's at around 71. If you guys want a Commander update, I can definitely do that. It'll probably just take me a month to get it out because you know me. Cruise control, audio controls. Radar cruise is definitely a must on my next vehicle. I'm absolutely obsessed with it in the ES. Over here, variable intermittent speed wipers are still working nice. Padded portion in the dash still working good. As you can see, ooh, AM radio. That's the jam. 6 presets right over here. Aux, CD, AM, FM. Head unit still doing really nice. I wish I did have the GPS system just so I did have Bluetooth, but road noise is so bad I really couldn't use it anyways. No auto climate, even though I really do wish I had it. Hybrid models, I've looked at doing a conversion. It's kind of more hassle than it's worth because you do have to take this whole unit out and replace it. It's not plug and play or anything like that. You have to stick the thermostat for it somewhere. It's really just a lot of hassle. Underneath here, a little USB charger, some gum, glasses, gear shift, all that kind of stuff. Water. Heated seats are still doing really well, still heat up really nicely. One of my friends, Malibu, they've got like a 2011 LTZ, and their heated seat, it'll heat up the back, but not the bottom anymore. Like the bottom on the driver's seat, just the heating element doesn't work anymore. I thought that was really funny. No damp glove box here. Crown Honda of South Point, that's where they bought it from. But no complaints. In the compact segment back in 09, this was like the best interior in the class. Manual dimming rearview mirror, but no vanity light on my sun visor. And I'm still not having any issues with it cracking or anything like that. It still holds up really nicely. I've never noticed that stain until now. Gosh, that's gonna irk me. Sunroof, still doing well. I'm really glad I can open it. And it really lets in just the right amount of wind. Since that fairing is there, it's not like overbearing and like messing up your hair or anything like that, which of course my mom appreciates. Now coming to my rear seat, of course, cue the comments about living in the backseat of my car, because I'm pretty sure that's the only comments I got on my What's in My Car tour. But coming back here, as you can see, pre-calculus book, a psychology book is hopefully somewhere down in there. A couple pullovers, microfiber towels. I do have these little inserts right here so I have bottle storage. Same materials do follow through with the nice padded upper right here. Padded stitch leather, and of course the door material or the door storage right here. Nice smooth leather back here is still holding up well. Legroom is not super abundant, but for this being such a small car, this is me sitting behind my 5'9" frame. It's still adequate. I really don't carry that many people back here anyways. Seat mat pocket, and then I do have my armrest right here. Plenty of storage, or plenty of cup holders. Nice and padded. Seats do fall down 60-40, and as you can see, this molding does fall down after time. You just have to push that back up. Damp cornering handles, of course, for all 4 exterior seated passengers. LED dome light still doing well. I do have all LED bulbs in this car, like little bulbs. I do want to do reverse lights, but that's just a matter of getting to the bulbs behind the trunk liner. But other than that, that's about it. On the interior, I forgot to mention, I did have an issue with my blower motor on the fan control of my climate. And that was just, I think it got overheated, or there was too much moisture in the thing, or behind the glove box. Not too sure about that. I was driving around 2 hours, and then all of a sudden, like, my fan speed controller just wouldn't work. I guess it just got too hot. Don't know what was up with that. But the next day it was working fine, so I guess it was just like overheated or too much moisture or something, I don't know. Condensation, stuff like that. Car's bound to have an issue. It's, what is it, 7, 8 years old? I'm not good with mental math. Now, Hurricane Matthew, if you do know, that was a hurricane that did hit in October of 2016, if you are watching this a little bit later. It did affect Kinston, North Carolina pretty hard. Now, we had about 3 feet of standing water on major highways. We were out of school for over 10 days. And personally, I was not affected, thankfully. But I did have a friend, I've spoken about her before. She does own a 2008 BMW 335 Xi. And it did get flooded all the way up to the roof line. She didn't evacuate her car. She was out of town when the hurricane hit, and the car is totaled. So I'm sure her parents are excited about that because they've dumped thousands into repairs with that thing. I think it has around 130,000 miles on it. So anyways, I'll keep you guys updated on what she replaces it with. I'll go ahead and insert pictures here of the how high up the water was on her car. But anyways, let me know how the video footage was with my iPhone 7. I definitely can record videos on this phone from here on out if it does look better. It does have optical image stabilization, so nothing should be too shaky. But anyways, let me know how the video was. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.